we are now going back to the actual theme of the event. So today we're celebrating Asteroid Day 2025. And this morning we've had a panel talking about asteroids like the Hera and DART mission. But for the very last event panel, we would like to go back to what is the Asteroid Day, talking about as well the 50 years of the European Space Agency. And for that, Dorin, you're already ready. I didn't even call you on stage. We have Dorin Prunariu, who is, of course, first Romanian in space, but as well the leader of the Asteroid Foundation that has been organizing the Asteroid Days. So Dorin, I can leave the floor to you for the first introduction speech, and then we'll have Ian with us as well to talk about the 50 years of the European Space Agency.
Well, we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Asteroid Day. As the first Romanian in space and an active member of the international community addressing planetary defense, I have had the privilege to witness and help shape the evolution of Asteroid Day from a visionary idea to a global platform for awareness, education, and action. When the concept of Asteroid Day was first proposed, I immediately recognized the potential as a member of the Association of Space Explorers Working Group on Near-Earth Objects since 2005, and through my active involvement in the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, in Action Team 14 and Working Group on Near-Earth Objects, I had long advocated for stronger global coordination on this critical issue. But public engagement remained a challenge. The threat of an asteroid impact, through real and scientifically grounded, lacked the visibility needed to drive political will and funding. In 2014, a shared sense of urgency about the threat posed by near-Earth objects brought together a uniquely yet deeply committed team. Rusty Schweikart, already a leader in planetary defense and a respected voice in the UN discussions on NEO, brought both his astronautical credibility and decades of advocacy to the B612 Foundation. Brian May, not only known globally as the leader guitarist of Queen, but also a PhD astrophysicist, added a unique cultural and scientific authority to the cause. Grigory Richters, a German filmmaker, had just completed a dramatic short film titled 51 Degrees North, depicting the consequences of an asteroid impact on Earth. Deeply moved by the potential real-world implications, he proposed a Global Awareness Day. Dani Karemi, a seasoned technologist and executive, then Chief Operating Officer and later Chief Executive Officer of the B612 Foundation, provided the organizational backbone and strategic leadership to help transform the vision into reality. Together they launched the idea of Asteroid Day as a global awareness campaign aimed at informing the public, promoting scientific research, and influencing policy to enhance planetary defense. In December 2014, they issued the Asteroid Day Declaration, a document calling for increased detection and tracking of asteroids, greater international coordination, and more public education about asteroid risks. I, along with other astronauts, scientists, and notable figures, was among the earliest supporters and signatories, leveraging my own advocacy at the UN and within the Association of Space Explorers to help bring legitimacy and momentum to the campaign. The team chose June 30 for the annual observance, commemorating the Tunguska event in 1908, the most powerful asteroid-related explosion in recent history, which devastated a vast forest area in Siberia. It was a symbolic and sobering reminder of the kind of threat Earth could face again. The first Asteroid Day was officially launched in 2015, with global events held in dozens of countries, from science talks and classroom activities to film screenings and public exhibitions. With my involvement in the Association of Space Explorers since its founding, with extensive experience in the functioning and work of the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, I proposed on behalf of the association that June 30 be recognized by the UN as International Asteroid Day. The campaign culminated in a major milestone. In December 2016, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution officially declaring June 30 as International Asteroid Day, a day of education and awareness. What followed over the next decades exceeded all expectations. Asteroid Day became not only a symbol, but a movement. As Vice President of the Asteroid Foundation, the organization coordinating the annual Asteroid Day events, I have seen firsthand the power of sustained public outreach. We have brought together astronauts and astronomers, educators and engineers, policymakers and the public. Events have been held in over 100 countries, reaching millions of people through conferences, exhibitions, documentaries, and social media campaigns. Schools, science centers, and even parliaments have joined the dialogue. But beyond numbers, the true impact lies in the mindset shift. Today, planetary defense is no longer a niche topic. Governments fund near-Earth objects detection programs. International coordination mechanisms like the International Asteroid Warning Network and the Space Mission Planning Advisory Group are in place and maturing. Missions such as NASA's DART and ESA's Hera mission are the first planetary defense tests, real action inspired in part by the awareness that Asteroid Day helped generate. This is a strategy, this is a synergy we dreamed of when we first championed the cause. Science, policy, and public understanding working hand in hand. Looking forward, the mission of Asteroid Day remains as urgent as ever. Detection coverage still leaves blind spots. There are thousands of unknown near-Earth objects, some of them potentially hazardous. Preparedness at global level needs stronger protocols and broader cooperation. Asteroid Day continues to be the bridge between experts and citizens, risk and response, knowledge and action. For me, personally, Asteroid Day embodies the spirit of exploration and responsibility. As a cosmonaut, I have seen Earth from orbit, a fragile oasis in the vastness of space. That view compels us to protect our planet not only from climate change or geopolitical threats, but from cosmic hazard as well. Asteroid Day is part of that protection. It has been a decade of awareness and mobilization. May the next decade bring even greater unity, discovery, and resilience for the safety of our planet and the future of humanity. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dorin, for this overview of the Asteroid Day and Asteroid Foundation. I hope everyone listened very carefully, because there's going to be a test afterwards. I'm not kidding. Our next speaker is Ian Carnelli from the European Space Agency. And ESA celebrated this year its 50 years, and we're happy to spend some time with you to listen about the major achievements of ESA in the past 50 years.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. Well, what can I say? It's been a ride. We started, remember, I was a young graduate, so just finished university. Was 2005, and that's when I was brought into this topic of planetary defense. And at the time, it was really the far west, because nobody had a clue what we could do. And there were some universities thinking about painting asteroids to change the color, enhance the optical properties so that we could deviate, or throw in nets and tow them away, harpoons or attaching engines, all kinds of strange ideas. And everybody was, when we were trying to propose a planetary defense program at the European Space Agency, we were seen also almost as strange aliens. So it took us 20 years, a lot of work with scientists, with universities, with industries, And I'm really happy today. I'm really, really happy to say that we have a fully fledged planetary defense system. Also the work of many astronauts helping us, raising awareness like Asteroid Day. That's bringing this topic to a level that we can talk about without laughing. And events like the one in Chelyabinsk 10 years ago really remind us these events really happen. So at ESA now we have a full program. It is based on three main pillars. The first one is to detect asteroids. So we installed a telescope, the first telescope in Matera in Italy a few months ago, and we got the first image 2 weeks ago. It's a very special telescope because it can look for what we call, or what the community calls, imminent impactors. These are asteroids, very, very small, very difficult to see, like the one in Chelyabinsk. And the idea is to be able to see them before they hit us, so that we can inform population not to go close to windows or things that can break if the shock wave arrives. But and we can see it safely. There's nothing we can do with very, very small asteroids, but it's important that we know when they're coming, because I remember in Chelyabinsk, one of the first things, there's also a nuclear site nearby in Russia, and although it was not a time of war, but the first thought was that it could have been an attack on these installations. So these type of events also have a geopolitical implication. The second pillar is the Near Earth Object Coordination Center. This is based in Rome, in the ESA site called Dorin, and that's where the scientists receive all the data on the position and the velocity of the asteroid every day, and they compute their position in the future, 2 centuries in the future. And by doing that, they calculate what we call the impact probability of every single potentially hazardous object. And they do that every day. There is another center in the United States doing a similar work, and they compare the results to make sure that we get consistent numbers. And then they also interact with the international organizations to coordinate a warning in case we have an asteroid that reaches 1% probability of impact in the next 10 years. And this was the case in January. For the first time, an object was discovered and reached, I think, 2-3% impact probability. And this triggered, for the first time, protocols of communication within the United Nations and so on. So it was a good case. What happened, and I'm telling you this because the media love always to put very colorful articles when we discover an asteroid, is that typically new asteroids have a very poor knowledge of their position and velocity, therefore the impact probability is very high. Then as astronomers take more measurements, then they know their position better, and then the impact probability normally lowers. That's what happens with most asteroids. So be careful when you read an article on the web where and you read that the Earth is doomed. This is not yet the case, so that's the good news. So this is a center we have in Rome to do this type of calculations. They also use data from amateur astronomers. They're a fantastic community, citizens like all of us, who have a passion for asteroids. They have a telescope in their backyard, and they look at asteroids and they provide us with data. This is very valuable data. As I said before, it's not only about discovering asteroids, but it's also tracking them, because the more we track them, the better we know their trajectory. And then the third pillar is the one I was mostly involved with, which is the deflection of asteroids. So since many, many years, we try to convince politicians that it would be worthwhile to test a deflection on a real asteroid before actually finding the one that is coming towards us. And this is fine. It took us a long time, but this is finally what we managed to do with the Hera mission and the DART mission from NASA, where we rehearse an asteroid deflection using a technique that is called kinetic impact. So it's like the snooker game, billiard. You just hit very fast an asteroid and you change its velocity. This is what we did in 22 when DART impacted on the 26th of September asteroid Dimorphos. And we are going back. We are going back with Hera. We're reaching Dimorphos again next year on the 1st of November because we want to understand what happened. We have seen the deflection from ground. We have measured the deflection, but we don't know why the change in velocity was of a certain amount. So if we want to use this technique on another object, then we need to get all the properties of the object, and that's why we're going back next year. So stay tuned. 1st of November, you will see fantastic images. We will stay around the asteroid for 6 months. We will deploy small CubeSats. They're like small drones, mini spacecraft, also to get closer to the surface, get fantastic images, data like composition, mineralogical composition, internal structure. We have a radar that looks inside the asteroid like a sonar to tell us if it's there are voids that work as an airbag during an impact, or if it's a monolithic rock. So a lot of information that will help the scientists calibrate the models and being able to use this technique to other objects. So in conclusion, I'm just want to tell you that let's say we are a safer world. I think it's a positive message of international collaboration. Despite everything is going on in the world, this is a topic, planetary defense, that has no borders, and we still collaborate with everybody around the world, literally, and that we're lucky that for once politicians have given us the means to put in place a system before we actually have a threat, a real threat. Typically, we react to problems. We react to climate change. We react to earthquakes. In this case, we have now almost everything we need in place to protect our planet. And I think that's a good message. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you. All right, you can take a seat. So now, I mean, I said it, so I'm going to do it. It's time for the test, right? Make sure that you listen carefully to what our speakers had said. So you'll need your smartphone for this little test that I'm going to set up here in just a couple of minutes. So you can take out your smartphone, and I'll go directly reconnecting. To make sure that we have internet. All right. So for those who don't know the Kahoot platform, you just need to scan the QR code that's just going to appear right now on the computer, and you can choose a little nickname. You can choose an avatar. You can be creative. Absolutely no problem. You're going to have 10 questions on the topic of Asteroid Day, Asteroid Foundation, as well as the European Space Agency and its 50-year anniversary. So you had a bit of the facts throughout the discourses. So if Ian and Dorin play, it's not going to be fun because you guys aren't going to win. But let's say you'll be disqualified in any case. Okay, we have everyone joining. Oh, maybe I can put in bigger the QR code so it's going to be easier to join. Here you go. All right. A few phones are still up. I'll let you girls and guys scan it, and you can join, of course, the Kahoot even online. For those who are there online on YouTube, you can as well take part. Absolutely no problem. All right. Are you ready? I know it's the end of the day, but can you give it a bit of energy? Are you ready? Aye, come on. All right. That's what I want to hear. All right, let's get started with the 10 questions. So you need to have the right answer, but you also need to be as quick as possible. All right, let's start in 3, 2, 1 with the first question. When was the European Space Agency officially funded? 1958, 1969, 1975, 1985. Let's see if some of you can compute very quickly in your head, because we did say which anniversary it was this year. So you should be able to find this one. All right, and the right answer was 1975. Okay, not everyone can compute. It's fine, don't worry, it's a safe place. Second question coming up. Okay, podium first. Danielle is first. Oh, Danielle, one of our speakers. Yoda is second. I don't know who is Yoda, an anonymous player. Second question. In what year did Asteroid Day officially launch? So we also did say which anniversary it was this year. So it should be easy to find. 2015, 2005, 2010, 2019. Which one is the correct answer? 2015, congratulations, better, -10 was easier than -50, to be fair. Let's look at the podium. Oh, Woof is taking the second place, but Daniel is still number 1. But always still 8 questions to go. Question number 3. Who co-founded Asteroid Day alongside scientists and astronauts? Was it Elon Musk? Was it Brian May, Bill Nye, or Carl Sagan? There might be a little sneak peek on the picture. I was nice enough. You should be able to figure out. If you know, the basics. Brian May, indeed, Brian May, guitarist of Queen and PhD in astrophysics, was one of the co-founders of Asteroid Day. Nice. Woof went to number 5. Next question. What was ESA's first planetary defense mission? ESA's first planetary defense mission, was it ERA, Sentinel-1, Rosetta, or Galileo? You should have heard about this mission, and if you look very closely to Ian t-shirts, you should be able to find it. All right, it was ERA. Rosetta, actually different mission we're going to talk about afterwards. Sentinel-1, Earth observation. Galileo, navigation. It's going to be hard to catch up with Danielle, still number 1. The next question, the ERA mission is a follow-up to which NASA-led impact mission? New Horizons, DART, OSIRIS-REx, or Themis-1? What was the mission that came before ERA to impact an asteroid? We've talked about it this morning. And the right answer was DART. Congratulations to the majority. Congratulations. All right, we'll keep the same podium, but there's still 5 questions to go. Nothing is lost. Maybe some harder questions coming up. What is ESA's main headquarters location? Berlin, Paris, Brussels, or Luxembourg? The HQ of ESA. Actually, a new HQ, brand new HQ. Very beautiful to visit. Paris. Yeah, we would have liked if it was in Luxembourg, but no, fortunately not in Luxembourg and not Brussels. All right, Space Geek is coming 3rd place. Nice. Next question. What does ESA's space safety program aim to protect against? Climate change, asteroid impacts, space weather, all of the above. What does ESA's space safety program aim to protect? Actually, all of the above, indeed. So it's called space situational awareness. So you're looking at the threats of course, space sustainability, asteroids, but as well the threat of space weather, particles coming from the sun that may harm satellites in orbit. Oof. Space Geek taking the lead. Not so good for Danielle and the follow-up. We know you didn't get this one, but still 3 questions. Which ESA mission famously landed on a comet? Comet. Yeah. 2013. Sister. Yeah. Gaia, ExoMars, Rosetta, Ariane. Which famous mission by ESA? We've seen it before. Indeed, Rosetta, and Philae. Philae actually landed on the comet 67P. Historic landed, historic mission. Oh, Danielle is making a comeback, but it's very close. It's very close on the podium. Still 2 questions, so it can make the change. How many countries are full ESA member states? How many countries? 28, 23, 22, or 18? If you want to count on my logo, feel free to do it. And actually 23 since January. And so my logo is wrong because it's from the year before. So it's not even updated. 23 member states. Oh, Yoda with Danielle. Space Geek. Okay, I think the four, it's going to come down to the last question. It's last question, concentration. We've said it before. What date is globally recognized as Asteroid Day? April 12th, June 30th, May the 4th, or September 5th? Which date? Asteroid Day. Ooh, hesitation among the public. And Dorin, June 30th. You said it in the speech. Easy. I said there were hints. Congratulations, everyone. This is April 12th is actually for the human space flight with Yuri Gagarin's flight. May the 4th, just a fun wordplay. Okay, the podium. Congratulations to number 3. Danielle, okay, you made it. You made it on the podium. Number 2, Woof. For number 1, the winner is Yoda. Yoda, come on stage. Whoever Yoda is. Yoda is anonymous. Yoda wants to keep a low profile. No? All right, no problem. I mean, it's a safe place, I said. You can come, no problem. Yoda won? Oh, maybe Yoda is online. Well, congratulations, Yoda, wherever you are. Well done. You did quite a good job with the questions. Well, welcome back our panelists. So Ian and Dorin on stage, please. I'll just cut off the quiz just for a follow-up question. All right, back to our presentation. So we've talked about the Asteroid Day as June 30th. I've heard there might be an asteroid year coming up. Is it possible to know more, or is it still secret?
No, it's nothing secret. The United Nations approved the year 2029 as the International Year of Asteroid Awareness and Planetary Defense. Why 29? Because at that time, the asteroid Apophis will come closer to the Earth. Closer, I think, even closer than the orbit of the Moon.
Closer than the geostationary.
Closer than the geostationary orbit, yes.
Oh,
Geostationary orbit is 36,000 kilometers high. So we'll come very close, but will not hit the Earth. But we take the opportunity to use this year to mark and to celebrate and to inform the population, to organize a lot of events, scientific events, cultural events, anything possible connected with the asteroid and planetary defense.
And I can add to that, Dorin, that it's a fantastic thing. And the European Space Agency has put together a mission because we saved a bit of money on Hera. So with that money that we saved, we're building a clone of the satellite and we're sending it to Apophis. So we're going to launch the Ramses mission on February 2028, and then in April 28, and in February 29, we'll get to Apophis. And we'll start following it as it approaches Earth. Now, Apophis is a 400-meter, 350, I have my 350, 400 meters diameter asteroid. So it's a very, for us, I mean, it's considered a fairly large asteroid. And so we will approach it, we will follow it as it comes to the Earth, and it will come inside the geostationary ring of satellites, so 30,000 kilometers, which is really, really close. So that night, on Friday, April 13th, 2029, if you go out, you find, hopefully it's clear sky now, you go out and you will see it with your naked eye, and then you take your mobile phone, you connect to the ESA website, and you will have live images taken from the spacecraft. Now, it's not just a PR stunt. What we are interested in is, again, in understanding the internal structure of asteroids, which today is still unknown. And what happens with an object coming so close to the Earth is that the Earth gravity will pull it kind of apart. Now, it's probably not going to break, but there will be some sort of earthquakes inside the asteroid. And the Ramses will be there, the CubeSats will be there to look at what is happening during the close flyby and what the Earth will do on this object. We expect, or the scientists expect, rocks to move, possibly cracks, and we'll listen to them with a geophone, possibly even landing on the asteroid and understanding the physical properties and the interaction with this asteroid. So it's going to be a fascinating mission. And so please follow that up, because it's once in a lifetime. It's really going to be something incredible.
It's true, because we've talked before about more of the past and milestones that we've achieved in planetary defense. How do you see the future? Maybe with some of the people in the audience, did you see the movie Look Up?
Don't look up.
Don't look up, don't look up. Yeah,
Don't
sorry,
look up.
don't look up. You're right. Do you think this is what the future will look like, or are we going towards a different trajectory?
You know, with politicians, it's very difficult to deal, and you have to convince them, to really convince them, and sometimes to scare them, to take a right decision in the right time. Actually, in my view, so it's just the beginning of the tests on asteroids, DART, Hera, and will be more missions. In the end, we have to reach the level to really build a spacecraft so big and powerful to go to a real asteroid that manages the Earth and to move the orbit, to deflect the orbit. When it will happen, I don't know. You have a specialist here. I don't think it will be in less than 20, 30 years, it's, in my view, looking how the space technology is developing. What do you think?
Well, I think, okay, in terms of on next milestones, I talked about the Ramses mission. What we're interested in now is also to be able to send very fast what we call reconnaissance missions. So if you have an asteroid that is coming, or an asteroid for which you have very few observations, and you're not sure whether it's going to hit or not, the best would be to be able to send a spacecraft, possibly a very cheap one, and fast enough to reach it and to study it and to do orbit predictions. So the type of CubeSats we have talked about today, this morning, like Milani, Juventus, the one built here in Luxembourg, if we can make them able to fly by themselves without a bigger mothercraft and be able to go to scout and see different objects, that would be extremely valuable for the community.
And how long do you think this will take?
Oh, I think we will do it in the next 10 years, no problem.
No problem, okay.
No problem.
A signed contract tonight, right? We'll meet in 10 years for the Asteroid Day, and we'll have Ian explaining us how this is happening. Thank you so much, talking about these milestones and the future ahead. We're closing now the Asteroid Day officially, so thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.